We've reached the business end of the FA Cup. And our quarter-finalists are finding their groove. Welcome to the Emirates FA Cup preview show. Coming up, Leicester City face Chelsea 3 years on from a magical Wembley day.
To be there and to have won it was a feeling that I'll never forget.
Shay Given was a finalist with Newcastle and Manchester City, but which of his former sides will roll on?
The favourites will be, of course, Manchester City. I just hope Newcastle can maybe have a year this year that they can get their hands on this famous trophy.
Building the foundations of success, the fall and rise of Coventry City.
There's been a lot of ups during a turbulent time, and this season is hopefully the way it's going can turn out to be a successful one as well.
And in our Cup of Nations series, we celebrate the heroes who've originated from Oceania.
That's your chance to make yourself famous and put yourself on the map. My friends and family are watching, and you just want to do them proud.
To be there and to have won it was a feeling that I'll never forget.
The FA Cup goes to Leicester City at long last.
It was always going to be our day.
No Foxes fan will forget the 2021 FA Cup final, where Mark Albrighton's Leicester City made history against giants of the English game, Chelsea.
This competition is the most prestigious in the country, in my opinion. I was always watching the FA Cup final as a kid. It's a different feel to a lot of other football matches. It's more of an event rather than an actual football match. It's beautiful to be a part of it. The day that we won the cup, it was an absolute incredible day. Obviously, I started on the bench, seeing the lads walk out, doing all the handshakes, the national anthem. Johnny Evans pushed himself to start, which I don't blame him for doing. I think any player would have done the same. But to then get on and play a big role in it, it was fabulous. Just enjoy the moment that you're in and take the chance, and then to obviously be on the pitch when the goal goes in, you do think that this could be our day.
Tielemans from long distance. Oh, one of the great Wembley goals. Yuri Tielemans.
It's a goal worthy of winning any cup final. The way in which he caught it and just the power behind it, the accuracy was like it's incredible.
The Wembley net bulges from the Belgians. Fantastic strike.
I honestly don't know what I would do if that was me in that situation. I don't know how I would react. I thought it was quite calm considering.
And it's gone in. 1-1.
It was a heartbreaking moment when the ball actually went in. So to then get the relief of the VAR decision, it was probably as maybe if not more than how the goal felt.
It's disallowed at Wembley. It's over. Leicester City land the FA Cup for the first time in their history.
I just remember not knowing what to do, where to go. Yeah, I think I just lost myself a little bit. You obviously go and celebrate with the rest of the players, and then everybody comes on the pitch, and then you go over to the fans, you celebrate with the fans, and I found my family in the stands. I seen their emotions. I remember a couple of moments that I just sort of had to myself as well, where I was just sort of taking it all in and taking in the atmosphere, taking in what I'd done, what we'd done as a club.
If Albrighton was there for the highs, he's seen the lows, like last year's loss of Premier League status.
The relegation was heartbreaking, but we feel we deserve. We've got no arguments with it, and we got ourselves into a situation that we couldn't get ourselves out of, and we are where we are, and we're fighting to get back into the Premier League, and if we do that, it'll be another memorable season, more success, more silverware, and we're so hungry to do that.
Leicester have been balancing their push for promotion with an outstanding FA Cup run that's led to a rematch of the 2021 final.
Chelsea up next. They're a good side. When we've played them in league games in previous seasons, it's never been easy, but on the flip side of that, we have had success there before, so we'll look to do the same again, and to be able to have the chance to get in a semi-final at Wembley is one that we'll fight so hard for.
Just like 3 years ago, Chelsea go into the game as favourites. But the greatest moments in the Leicester City story have come when they're cast as underdog.
With what we did in 2016, winning the Premier League, to be able to not rest on that, but to be able to build on that and going on to win the FA Cup and the Community Shield, it's just been an incredible period for the football club, and everything that went with that and followed that was, best period of my career, my life. Yeah, it's just a moment that I would love to relive.
I think it was part of the family sort of tradition. The world seemed to stop on FA Cup final day just for everyone to watch who's in the final, and obviously see who picked up the trophy at the end of the day. The finals I played in, we lost, and the one I was on the bench for, we won. So when you're in the change room after a final and you've won, it's certainly a different atmosphere, a different feeling, of course. And then the pain of losing a final, because most people don't remember the finalists; they only remember the winners.
In 1998, Newcastle United goalkeeper Shay Given made his first FA Cup final appearance at the home of English football.
The memories of watching so many players and so many goalkeepers, and that sort of walking behind the manager, Kenny Dalglish was that time, and the long walk to the halfway line. But again, you could see the black and white, all the flags, and the fans were right behind us. Probably brought me back to my youth a bit, thinking, I watched this FA Cup final, in the living room with my dad and my brothers and sisters, and now I'm actually walking out at the hallowed turf at Wembley. So it was very, very special. It seemed like we're the bridesmaid because we were so close, I felt, to going up the aisle and picking up the trophy. But I think on that final day, it was the year that Arsenal won the double. And I think Nico Stabizas maybe hit the crossbar and Alan Shearer hit the post, and they were big moments, I felt, because it just needs a moment like that to change the way the game went. Small margins, but it just didn't fall for us on the day.
12 months later, the Toon were back at Wembley, but there were conflicted emotions for Given.
Frustrating thing about '99, obviously we lost to Man United, their historic treble year, but I actually played in the semi-final against Tottenham, and then I didn't play in the final, so that was really a tough pill to swallow, from a personal level. And Ruud Gullit was the manager at the time, didn't even tell me. It was the goalkeeping coach, Terry Ginno, who had to break the bad news to me, so only found out a couple of days before the final. But then I had to pick myself up because I know Steve Harper had to play, and we're close friends, and it was me there to support him in the final as he was the year before. We were probably big underdogs for the final that year as well. They showed how good they were and popped up with 2 important goals and won the game.
After 12 years at Newcastle, the Republic of Ireland international joined Manchester City, whose rise began with an FA Cup win in 2011.
Joe Hart was the #1 that year with Mancini, and it's difficult because you are part of everything apart from crossing the white line and playing. But at the same time, you do have that FA Cup winners' medal at home, and I know a lot of people don't have that, so you have to cherish that as well. I've got a few runners-up medals that maybe are less cherished. I think that first trophy, you feel that's on the mantelpiece, and now you move forward again as a football club, and I think that was a huge moment in the Man City we see today.
In 2015, Given was back at Wembley in goal for Aston Villa, at the time struggling in the Premier League.
It was a bit of a relief for everyone, I think, to play in the FA Cup, and again, it was a bit of a snowball effect. We were through to the next round, now we're in the quarter-finals, and we've got Liverpool in the semi-final. We had a brilliant performance. I think it was Christian Benteke and Fabian Delph got the goals. Again, we're off to another final. We didn't perform to the level we did in the semi, and again, Arsenal under Arsene Wenger, a brilliant team again, and You know, another runners-up medal at home, which is disappointing because you just think you're so close again to getting your hands on that trophy.
When Manchester City and Newcastle meet this weekend, both his former sides are likely to be without their regular number one.
You know, I think when Stefan Ortega plays, it doesn't seem to lessen their team anymore. He's so calm, he's so collective. You know, both with his goalkeeping and the ball at his feet, he doesn't look like he's a number two. He looks really settled in the team. Take nothing away from what Martin Dubravka's done as well. You know, I think the reason they're in the quarter-final is because of him. Actually, at Blackburn in the last round, made some big saves, made 2 penalty saves in the shootout as well. So, you know, you just look at moments like that. Is that maybe Newcastle's year? Of course, you miss Nick Pope because he's a brilliant goalkeeper, but at the same time, it's an opportunity, of course, for Dubravka to show to the world again how good he is. The favourites will be, of course, Manchester City. You just hope for Newcastle's sake that they go there and do throw a few punches as well, because if you sit back for 90 minutes, eventually they'll grind you down and score. So it's important that Newcastle cause them some problems as well. They won 5 trophies last calendar year. That, you know, they're really on top of their game. The levels they've got to is unbelievable. And I was part of that at the very start, of course. And now Newcastle, with the new ownership there at the start of their journey, I think. I just hope Newcastle can maybe have a year this year that they can get their hands on this famous trophy and just share the love with the trophies, I suppose. And it's not going to be easy, of course, but you just never know in the FA Cup.
Still to come, can the Sky Blues' fifth-round hero strike again?
It was nice to get the hat-trick, especially in the first half. It's quite quick as well, so it set us up for the rest of the game.
And a good start is always key in our FA Cup quiz.
Come on. Tell you what, lads, I'm going all right here.
Since joining in 2017, Coventry City captain Liam Kelly has seen it all, as this famous club have battled challenge after challenge.
It's been an interesting one, 7 years, and I think in that time we've gone from playing at the CBS Arena to playing at Birmingham, to COVID, to lockdown, to back to playing at the CBS, you know, and in between that, but a couple of promotions, managed to get to the playoff final. So there's been a lot of ups during a turbulent time, and you know, this season, hopefully, the way it's going, could turn out to be a successful one as well.
It has to be a fifth. It's tucked into the back of the net again.
The club's gone from being on a high, you know, playing in the Premier League, and you know, fans of an older age, you know, watching them win the FA Cup, and to see their club, you know, go all the way down to League Two.
Of course, Coventry currently playing at Sixfield Stadium in Northampton. Coventry fans in their fight to get back to their home. Oh, this turmoil off the field goes on.
Must have been tough for them. They've had to move out of the city for a couple of seasons. Then no one's been able to go and watch the games, and you know, finally getting back to the CBS, back playing in the Championship, and the crowd's been fantastic. It's been 25,000 plus most weeks. So I think they're relishing the good times at the moment. I think it's a good time to be part of this football club, and I think it's got a good future ahead of it.
Laying the football foundations is manager Mark Robins, 7 years into his second spell in charge. He's led the Sky Blues from League Two to the brink of the Premier League.
You know, the manager's treated us well, and yeah, it's been successful. You know, it's worked well. There's been a lot of players come and go, but you know, you've seen a lot happen. But like I said, the manager's been a key part to, you know, seeing through all that success and seeing through all them turbulent times. And you know, I think if you were to ask him now, we wouldn't be settling, you know, for where we are. We want to go one step further, you know, try and push on again in the FA Cup and try and get this club back into the Premier League.
Leading the line is Ellis Sims, who heads into round 5 after back-to-back hat-tricks at the CBS Arena, including one in the last round.
Maidstone, we knew it would be potentially a difficult match. Obviously, they were the underdogs in the game. So yeah, it was nice to get the hat-trick, especially in the first half. It's quite quick as well, so it set us up for the rest of the game.
Pushed away, Sims! Hat-trick!
I'm happy on a personal note, obviously, with the last few weeks. So obviously, I just want to keep building on that and just score as many goals as I can to help the team out
You know, he's full of confidence at the minute. You know, he's a strong physical lad, and he's really putting himself about there, and he's getting in good positions, and everything he seems to touch just seems to go in the back of the net at the moment. And I'm sure he'll be looking to add to that tally at Wolves come the weekend.
Bellegarde, excellent run, torn away by Steele, and in! Perfect start for Wolves.
They're a great side. They're doing well this year as well in the Premier League. So we know it's going to be a tough game. They've got obviously real quality in their squad.
Griffiths fell off his line, and Cunha beats him to surely win the derby for Wolves.
It's going to be a tough game, I think, going away to Wolves, who's obviously having a good season this year. A side full of talent, it's going to be difficult, and if we want to get anything out of it, then we just need to, really concentrate on ourselves, go out there and give the best account of ourselves, and make it really, really difficult for Wolves.
It's not too far away, so it can be classed as a derby in a way. So we know our supporters, they're going to be right behind us. I'm sure they're going to fill out the allocation as always.
9 months ago, Coventry were one penalty kick away from promotion to the Premier League. Beat Wolves, and they'll be back at Wembley.
I'm sure the lads want to play there again. I certainly do, so just want to keep pushing, keep working hard, and hopefully we get the win.
You know, it's the FA Cup, and it's the magic of the FA Cup if you can, produce an upset and put yourself into the semi-final at Wembley. It's a great day for the fans, going down there, playing on the big stage. It's something we want to do again. Come this weekend, we'll be giving absolutely everything we can to get the team, the club, and the fans back there.
On Sunday, Manchester United take on Liverpool. They're England's two most successful clubs. And it's 3 years since their last FA Cup meeting.
United boosted by going into this tie as leaders of the Premier League, 6 points ahead of the defending champions Liverpool. There has to be a winner here at Old Trafford in the 4th round of the FA Cup. Salah played in, and Mo Salah gives Liverpool the lead at Old Trafford. It's a fantastic ball from Rashford, and the equaliser slotted in by Mason Greenwood. And Manchester United are in here in the shape of Marcus Rashford. He doesn't miss. Firmino and Milner lets it run. Salah's there. 2 for Mo Salah, 2 for Liverpool. Bruno Fernandes takes it, scores it, and does the magic again. And they are through. They have beaten the old rivals in a thrilling FA Cup tie.
No competition has had an impact on English football like the FA Cup. Its appeal has spread worldwide, and those who've made their mark have come from across the globe. This season, we've analysed that heritage, and this week, it's the FA Cup stars from Oceania. A player from that continent first played in an FA Cup final in 1954. Australian Joe Marston was at the heart of the Preston defence, but suffered disappointment at Wembley as North End were defeated 3-2 by West Brom. Marston is recognised as a pioneer for the game, and in 1980 was awarded an MBE. More than 3 decades later, Craig Johnston became the first Oceanic player to win the FA Cup.
Johnston, yes! 2-1 to Liverpool. Craig Johnston.
I made a run, and it seemed to go through 3 or 4 pairs of legs, and it just arrived at me. I couldn't miss, really.
The Australian winger scored Liverpool's second goal in a 3-1 victory over Everton in the 1986 final. Ian Rush scored Liverpool's other goals. Or did he?
Ian Rush, goal!
Yeah, actually, if you have a little looky, I think I might just get a touch on this, Rushy.
Today, Johnston is also remembered for his role in designing the revolutionary Predator football boot. Both Australia and New Zealand have had many of their greatest exports play in this competition. But other nations have contributed. Christian Carambeau is best remembered as part of the French 1998 World Cup winning squad. But born in New Caledonia in the Pacific Isles, the former Middlesbrough man won Oceanic Player of the Year in 1998 and is recognised as the most decorated footballer to have originated from the continent. Adam Federici was a central figure in Reading's memorable 2015 FA Cup run. But it was to end in heartbreak for the Australian after his error in extra time in the semi-final against Arsenal saw the Gunners go through instead.
Horrible, horrible moment for Adam Federici, who has been Reading's hero until now.
Another Australian who did get his hands on the trophy is Harry Kewell. The winger was a winner in 2006 with Liverpool against West Ham in Cardiff. The second and most recent Australian to win the FA Cup. But the Oceanic player with the biggest impact on the tournament is arguably Tim Cahill. The Aussie midfielder played a vital role in 2004, helping second-tier Millwall reach the final for the first time in their history.
Cahill! So often a talisman for Millwall, and he's done it again.
You know, with Millwall, it was like winning a cup final. I'll never forget scoring in the semi-final against Sunderland at Old Trafford. You know, for the fans and for myself, it's a moment.
5 years later, Cahill was a leading figure in the last Everton side to reach the final.
That's your chance to make yourself famous and put yourself on the map. You know, I know for me, every time I cross the white line, people all around the world in Asia and especially Australia, my friends and family are watching, and you just want to do them proud.
Despite taking an early lead through Louis Saha, Cahill was again on the losing side as Chelsea triumphed 2-1 under the arch at the new Wembley.
I don't look back in disappointment. I actually look back and I'm very proud to have played a part in Everton getting to the final.
Finally, it's quiz time. We show our guests a team sheet from a classic cup tie with a few omissions. So, can they find the missing men? This week, it's Leicester-Chelsea and the 2021 final.
I might have watched the game, but it's years ago now, isn't it?
It's only 3 years, Ellis. First up, who's missing in the Chelsea team?
Chelsea,
Oh, the keeper.
Goalkeeper.
Kepa.
Is it Kepa in goals?
I'm going to go Kepa.
Kepa.
I'm not going to try and say his other name.
A full house in goal for the Blues. Kepa Arrizabalaga.
Positive start, that. Positive start.
Centre mid.
Midfield is...
It's going to be Kante.
Kante?
N'Golo Kante.
Kante.
Oh, yeah, we're going well.
Correct. In the Chelsea engine room, Mark's old teammate, N'Golo Kante.
Striker.
He's come back on loan to the Premier League.
And...
Can't remember his name. It's gone out of my head.
It's either Werner or Havertz, isn't it? It's one of them.
And up top, Werner?
I'm going to go...
Werner?
Werner.
Timo Werner.
Yeah? Yeah?
Absolutely, Shay. Timo Werner, now of Chelsea's rivals, Tottenham.
Come on. Tell you what, lads. I'm going all right here.
A decent start all round. Now name the 3 missing Leicester players.
Centre back.
It's Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans.
I've actually just seen the flags now of the country, which were here to help me, so I'm going to go Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans, missing from centre half there.
Mark had to get that. Evans was the man he replaced in the 34th minute.
Goalkeeper, Schmeichel.
Well, definitely Kasper Schmeichel in goals, yeah?
Schmeichel.
Yeah, so Kasper Schmeichel.
Easy enough. In the Foxes' goal, Danish international Kasper Schmeichel, who was inspired on the day.
Midfield.
Tielemans.
Tielemans.
In midfield, I'm going Tielemans.
Yuri Tielemans. in the middle of the park as well. Obviously the match winner on the day.
Correct. Tielemans, the history man.
Tielemans from long distance. Oh, one of the great Wembley goals.
And it's a rarity this week as the quiz ends all square with full marks all round. Well done, team.
That's a full house. Happy with that.
Yeah, I know. I've got good knowledge.
Lovely. Yeah, I thought I might struggle on the Chelsea team.
A wonderful weekend of quarter-final action looms, and England's fiercest rivalry is renewed. Enjoy the action, and we'll see you next month.
He's good now.
This tackle sums up the rivalry, really.
Has done it. Manchester United have stolen it.
Mo Salah. Fernandes takes it, scores it.
It's English football's greatest rivalry. A chance